unity of our cities and counties. And it's tremendous. And Kevin is just a model of that. I will say this. This is Kevin's idea. Kevin came and he said, Keith, you know, one of the things that we would love to do is have an event where we could cement Virginia's gateway value proposition to our legislators. So when they're acting on our behalf, what is it that they want for? So this success for me is we do this again a year from now or whenever the best time of it is. But we want this message to be heard loud and clear at the General Assembly. There are needs down here. And with just a little bit of help, not a lot of help, but just a little bit of help, maybe we improve some infrastructure. Maybe we get an interchange redone. Or maybe we move some water and some sewer down some paths that need to go. Because at the end of the day, if we're ready, we're in the best spot in Virginia. I am convinced of this in my very soul, of winning deals. So that's enough about the Gateway region. I think you're excited because you're here. I'm really delighted that you're here. But I'm really delighted that our legislative partners are here. I know that Delegate Taylor right here, thank you. And Senator Ruff is here, thank you. And Delegate Brewer, thank you for being here. Delegate Corner, thank you. Right here, yes. And Mike Cherry, Delegate Cherry is here. And we will. Did I miss anybody? And Delegate Waxman, thank you. Yes. Did I miss anybody? Because my list wasn't complete. But thank you for what you do on our behalf. I know. I rest at night thinking that we're in good hands in the Commonwealth, and our particular region is in good hands. So with that, I want to introduce sort of the keynote speaker. And you all probably know Johnny better than anybody. You know, I call him a fighter pilot, or he's an aviator, or more importantly, he's a historian as well. I mean, he flies history day in and day out. And he's also, you know, a part of our Dinwiddie Airport Industrial Authority here. And he knows a lot about airports. And what you're standing in is a signature place in the Commonwealth of Virginia. The things that are happening here, other regional airports and other domestic or smaller airports would love to have happen. And it's happening right here at the heart of our region. So without any further ado, John, I'm going to turn it over to you and you can carry us home. Thank you.
Good afternoon. As I said, I'm John Mason. I'm chairman of the Dinwiddie Airport Industrial Authority. On behalf of the authority, we'd like to thank all of you for attending today. We'd like to thank our elected officials for taking time from their busy schedule to be here as well. I'd like to introduce our authority members. First, Richard Taylor. Richard, where are you? I know you're here. Way in the back there. Tyler Ragsdale. Tyler, back. Norma Newman. Where's Norma? I know she's here. Is she here? Okay. Dr. Mark Moore. Jonathan Bollier. Jonathan. And Franklin Zeno. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to talk a little bit today about the history of this airport. Most people don't ever look at the history of what an airport has or how it was developed and so forth. This is actually a Navy base in World War II, an auxiliary Navy base. It started off as an emergency landing field. And then in 1943, the field was converted to an air command and delivery unit. And what that meant was from Maine all the way down the East Coast, Florida, Gulf Coast, all the way back up the West Coast. Every 35 to 50 miles, an airport was built, identical to Dinwiddie. 3 runways, a set of barracks, and we have the photos of the old barracks down at the other end, terminal building. I hate saying this, I'm giving my age away, but I remember as a kid taxiing around here with my dad looking at these and going into the barracks and so forth. And the pilots would fly these planes from Republic Manufacturing or Grumman Aviation, and they would deliver them throughout the United States of America. And they needed these fuel stops and places to stay overnight. So this went on for a number of years until the war ended. And then at the end of the war, this Petersburg Airport at the time was considered surplus property, and the military didn't want it anymore. So they turned it over to the town. But the great thing about it was the town gave it to them as a dirt runway. They got it back as 3 paved runways, fueling trucks, buildings, and all types of assets. And from there until the early 80s, it was run as a general aviation airport, just a basic general aviation airport. And then Dinwiddie County realized that this airport had more influence and needs, not just for Dinwiddie, but for the region. And that's what really started the growth of this airport. And with that said, the authority was formed, and the name of the airport was changed to the Dinwiddie County Airport. This airport has evolved over the years into one of the most prosperous and efficient general aviation airports in the Commonwealth. We have 66 public use airports in the Commonwealth. 9 are air carriers and 57 are general aviation, very similar to like you see right here. Right now we have 41 T hangars on the property, 3 maintenance hangars, or not hangars, but buildings being utilized by independent aircraft repair facilities. Our older terminal building, not the original one, that was torn down, but our older terminal building that was built in the mid-60s, that has been renovated and it's now utilized by emergency helicopter service. We have the 4 new corporate hangars you can see right here that we built about 2 years ago, and in less than 1 year, we filled them with the planes like you see here, King Airs and jets and so forth. This investment allowed us to meet the growing needs of the community and corporations. We're presently working on a ramp expansion out here to increase the size of our ramp, to bring in larger corporate jets. We're finishing up a master plan, and then we have some other things in the works that if I said it, the rest of the authority would kill me at this point. This airport is a strong economic asset for the entire region. When a corporate client comes to visit to look for a place to move their business, the first thing most of them see is the airport. And if an airport isn't growing, the community is not growing. After all, the study that was made by the Virginia Department of Aviation, it's been several years now, showed that this airport, before we had our massive growth, was putting out about $18 million a year in economic benefits to the community. The future is bright for this airport. We are growing at a rate that we never imagined 3 years ago. And the entire region is growing with us, and we're growing with them. And if we work together, we can have, excuse the expression, one hell of a team. At this point, I'd like to introduce one of our staff members, Tom Henry. He's back over there raising his hand. Tom is a very, very dedicated employee here. And I'd like to introduce our airport manager, Jeremy Pulse, who has led the charge for us in this super development that's been going on in this airport. We owe a lot to Jeremy and his staff, and I just want to give you both a very big thank you. At this time, I was given instructions that you all have to eat, or I have to take it home. And I don't want to eat. But yes, if you all would, if anybody would like to take a tour, Jeremy and Tyler will be more than happy to. I made this under the normal allocated time I have. Once I start talking about flying, it goes on for hours. But anyway, thank all of you for coming, and I see a great partnership here in the future for the county and the region.